Georgia's housing market in 2026 reminds me of something my old real estate mentor used to say: a market does not shout before it changes. It whispers through buyer behavior. And right now, Georgia is whispering something serious. On the surface, this state still looks beautiful. Warm weather, college towns, military cities, coastal charm, and Atlanta's powerful economy. But real estate is not judged by beauty alone. It is judged by payments, rents, taxes, insurance, repairs, buyer confidence, and seller pressure. In this video, I promise you, I am not just going to tell you which city is up or down. I am going to show you the real causes, the hidden warning signs, and what you should actually do if you live in Georgia, want to buy there, or plan to invest there. Watch until the end, because this could help you avoid one of the biggest real estate mistakes of your life. And if you want real market breakdowns like this, subscribe before we begin. So in this video, we are going city by city, from number 10 to number 1, to break down where Georgia's housing market is showing the biggest warning signs in 2026. And as we go through each market, I want you to pay attention to one thing, not just the price, but the behavior. At number 10, let's go through the real estate of Athens. Athens is the kind of market that taught me one important lesson about real estate. A famous city can still become dangerous when buyers stop paying for the story and start paying attention to the numbers. Athens has the University of Georgia, strong student demand, and long-term rental appeal. But look at this slide carefully. Redfin shows the median sale price around $360,000, up 1.8%, while the price per square foot is down 9.77%. Median simply means the middle sale, not the average. So Athens is not crashing, but buyers are refusing weaker value. Zillow also shows 69.4% of sales closing under list price. What this means? Now, this is where an investor has to slow down. I am not saying Athens is a bad market. I am saying the easy money behavior has changed. Realtor shows Athens with a median listing price around $385,000, median rent around $1,600, and days on market moving higher year over year. That means the buyer is looking at the full monthly payment, not just the charm of a college town. With mortgage rates around 6.46% in early April, investors cannot assume rent will automatically cover the debt. Big investors usually watch cash flow first: rent, vacancy, repairs, taxes, insurance, and exit price. So if you are buying in Athens, do not chase the headline. Study the payment, the rent, and the neighborhood demand. On number 9, it's Gainesville. Gainesville is one of those markets where the chart looks strong at first, but the deeper real estate story is more complicated. Over the last 2 years, the strange thing here has been the gap between lifestyle demand and monthly payment reality. People wanted the Lake Lanier lifestyle, the quieter setting, and the distance from Atlanta's heavier urban pressure. Now look at this first chart. Redfin shows Gainesville's median sale price at about $375,000, up 2.0% year over year, with homes selling in 58 days instead of 90 days last year. That green line tells you demand has not disappeared. Buyers are still there, but they are much more careful. Now let me explain the second chart. Zillow shows the average Gainesville home value at about $373,267, down 1.9% over the past year, while Realtor shows a much higher median listing price, around $504,000, and median rent around $1,700. Sellers are still asking lifestyle prices, but buyers and investors are calculating payment, rent, taxes, insurance, repairs, and commute risk. with Freddie Mac showing the 30-year fixed mortgage rate at 6.37% on May 7th, 2026. The solution is simple. Buyers should compare the full monthly cost. Sellers should price closer to real demand, and investors should not buy unless the rent math works without fantasy appreciation. At number 8. Valdosta is the kind of market where the warning is not loud, but it is real. A serious investor would not look at this city and say, everything is collapsing. They would say, the buyer pool is limited, so every dollar matters. Redfin's March 2026 numbers show the median sale price near $210,000, down 3.6% from last year, while sales fell from 63 homes to 54 homes. Now here is the local problem. The United States Census Bureau shows Valdosta's median household income at only $45,925, with poverty around 26.1%. That means buyers are not weak emotionally, they are stretched financially. So do not worry, let me tell you what to watch for the next 8 to 9 months. Zillow shows 397 homes for sale in Valdosta at the end of March 2026, with 61.8% of February sales closing under list price. That means sellers are still finding buyers, but buyers are negotiating hard. The Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis shows Valdosta unemployment at 4.0% in February 2026, so the job market is not screaming disaster. The issue is payment pressure, local income, and price discipline. If you are a seller, do not test the market with fantasy pricing. If you are a buyer or investor, focus on rent, repairs, insurance, and whether the deal still works without future appreciation. At number 7 comes the Augusta. Augusta is different from the other weak-looking markets because the danger here is not a price crash. The danger is people misunderstanding why the market is still moving. This city has real support: Fort Eisenhower, medical jobs, cyber-related employment, lower home prices than Atlanta, and a steady local buyer base. Redfin's March 2026 data shows Augusta-Richmond County's median sale price near $222,000, up 20.0% year over year, with homes selling in about 63 days, faster than 77 days last year. So the truth is clear: Augusta is not dead, but buyers are still careful. Now let me tell you what people living in Augusta should do. Do not panic just because other Georgia cities are cooling, but also do not blindly believe every rising price is safe. Augusta has older housing stock, repair-heavy homes, military movement, neighborhood-by-neighborhood differences, and payment pressure from mortgage rates, insurance, and taxes. If you are buying, focus on condition first: roof, heating and cooling, plumbing, electrical, and resale area. If you are selling, do not overprice just because the city number looks strong. If you are an investor, stop assuming every cheap house becomes a profitable rental. In Augusta, the right property can still work, but the wrong property can become a repair bill with a mortgage attached. At number 6, it's Alpharetta. Alpharetta is not a poor market. That is the first thing people need to understand. The danger here is not collapse. The danger is overconfidence. This is a high-income, high-expectation suburb where buyers want schools, safety, lifestyle, technology jobs, and clean neighborhoods. But Zillow's March 2026 data shows the average Alpharetta home value around $726,349, almost flat over the past year, while 71.5% of February sales closed under list price. So the message is simple: buyers still want Alpharetta, but they are refusing to reward overpriced homes. Now listen carefully, because this is what people living in Alpharetta should do. Bruce Alien, an Atlanta real estate attorney and realtor with RE/MAX, said investors have pulled back because high interest rates are still painful. That matters in Alpharetta because Homes estimates a median home price around $840,000, with a 20% down payment producing an estimated principal and interest payment near $4,190 before taxes, insurance, homeowner association fees, and utilities. So buyers should compare the full monthly payment, not just the address. Sellers should price with discipline. Investors should only buy if the rent, resale, and holding costs work without depending on future appreciation. At number 5, Macon. Macon is where I need to explain briefly because one number alone will mislead you. The orange line is the median sale price. Redfin shows Macon at $197,500, down 7.9% year over year. The red line is buyer activity. Only 135 homes sold, down from 162 last year. Now the blue line is the stress signal. Athens ranked Macon among the worst large metro foreclosure rate markets in Q1 2026, at one foreclosure filing for every 492 housing units. Rob Barber of Athens warned that rising starts and repossessions show financial pressure may be building. Now let me explain what this really means. Macon is not failing because homes are too expensive like Alpharetta. Macon is struggling because cheaper homes still become expensive when repairs, insurance, taxes, and mortgage payments are added together. Zillow shows the average Macon home value at $169,499, up only 0.7%, so values are not collapsing across the board. But buyers are rejecting weak properties. Old roofs, outdated systems, vacant homes, and flip projects with poor finishing are getting punished. If you live in Macon, do not panic sell. Price realistically, fix the visible problems, and study nearby sales. If you are an investor, do not buy only because it looks cheap. Buy only when rent, repairs, vacancy, and resale still make sense. Number 4. Warner Robins. Warner Robins is not weak in the normal sense. It is a market held up by a very real economic engine. Robins Air Force Base reported a $4.48 billion economic impact for Georgia in fiscal year 2025, up 8.06% from the prior year. That kind of money supports jobs, contractors, military families, rentals, restaurants, and local services. Zillow's March 2026 data shows Warner Robins' average home value near $251,183, up 2.9% over the past year, with homes going pending in about 32 days. So the good force is clear. Stable employment, affordability, and military-linked demand. But now listen carefully, because this is where investors must be disciplined. Bruce Alien has clearly said investors have moderated purchases because high interest rates are still painful. That applies directly here. Zumper shows Warner Robins' median rent around $1,310 in May 2026, down 6% from last year. So the issue is not demand disappearing, the issue is cash flow getting tighter. If you live here, do not panic. This city has real support. But buyers should compare the full payment, sellers should not overprice older homes, and investors should only buy when rent, repairs, insurance, taxes, and vacancy still leave room for profit. Number 3. Columbus. Columbus is not a market where the main story is only the home price. The real story is buyer control. Right now, there are about 672 homes for sale, with about 191 new listings recently entering the market. More choices mean buyers do not have to chase every property. The strongest warning sign is that 51.9% of homes are closing under the asking price. That means sellers are not fully controlling the conversation anymore. Homes are still moving, with many going pending in around 21 days. But buyers are choosing carefully. They want clean homes, fair pricing, strong locations, and fewer repair surprises. Now, if you already bought in Columbus and you are panicking, slow down. Do not make an emotional decision just because the market feels softer. The local job market is not collapsing. Unemployment was around 4.2% in February 2026. So first, check your real position. Can you afford the payment? Is your roof, heating and cooling system, plumbing and foundation in good condition? Are you in a rental-friendly or resale-friendly area? If yes, holding may be better than selling under pressure. If you are buying, negotiate repairs and closing costs. If you are selling, do not test the market with fantasy pricing. Columbus is not rewarding panic in 2026. It is rewarding patience, clean condition, and realistic numbers. Now on number 2 is Savannah, and I have always had a soft spot for this city because it feels like real estate with memory, historic squares, old homes, the riverfront, tourism, and that coastal charm people do not easily forget. But in 2026, Savannah is teaching buyers a serious lesson. This is not a city that is finished. It is a city where the carrying cost became heavier than many buyers expected. Recent data shows home prices down 11.0% year over year, homes taking around 99 days to sell, and sales slightly lower than last year. That means buyers are not gone, but they are no longer rushing. Now let me calm the people living there. Savannah is not collapsing. Savannah is correcting expectations. The real causes are insurance pressure, coastal wind and flood risk, high mortgage rates, older home maintenance, and sellers who still price like every buyer is a tourist with unlimited cash. Average home value is down about 3.5%, but homes can still go pending in around 45 days when they are priced and presented correctly. For the next 8 to 9 months, owners should not panic sell if their payment is manageable. Check insurance, flood exposure, roof condition, rental backup, and repair reserves. Buyers should negotiate. Investors should not trust vacation rental dreams without slow season numbers. Savannah still has beauty, but now the numbers must make sense. At number 1, we reach Atlanta, and I'll be honest, this is the city my old real estate mentor always warned me about. He used to say, never fall in love with the skyline, fall in love with the numbers. Atlanta has jobs, airports, culture, universities, migration, and serious long-term demand. But in 2026, the problem is not whether Atlanta is important. The problem is that buyers are tired of paying peak-era prices while carrying today's mortgage rates. Zillow shows 4,158 homes for sale, 910 new listings, and 68.5% of sales closing under list price. That means buyers are not gone. They are bidding with discipline, not emotion. Now here is the real issue. Atlanta became the center of the investor debate because large institutional investors own about 72,000 single-family rental homes across Metro Atlanta. That changes competition for normal families and also changes risk for landlords. My experience says you do not bid in Atlanta by asking, can I win this house? You bid by asking, can I survive this payment if appreciation stays flat for 2 years? Buyers should compare nearby sales, ask for seller concessions, inspect hard, and never waive repair logic just to win. Sellers should price for 2026, not for the pandemic boom. Investors should calculate rent, vacancy, taxes, insurance, repairs, and exit value before making an offer. Atlanta is not finished, It is just forcing everyone to become smarter.